It's awesome. You can step inside of it, and it makes you into a 3D avatar. Welcome to this sponsored review of the metahero token launch. And welcome back to the channel, boys and girls. Hit that subscribe button, slam the bell icon so you're notified when new videos come out. You're the reason I make this media, and your support is so appreciated. Thank you so much for being here. Before I jump out of the way, nothing that you see in this video is intended as legal, financial, business, or any other type of advice. You are responsible for your own choices. You should act like it. This is a review of an upcoming public sale, but for right now, a notification of a private sale of a token. That's rare that somebody like me is able to bring you news of a private sale that's ongoing. Usually, creators like me on YouTube are contacted after the fact so that big whales and VCs can dump on you during a private sale going public after it's publicly listed. That is not the case with metahero, and I'm really excited to be able to bring this to you early so that if you are really motivated to get in because you look at the fundamentals for yourself and do your own research and you feel good about it, you can. Let me jump out of the way and show you the project. This is metahero. They call it a next-gen deflationary real utility token. And what do they mean by the real utility? Well, it's because the utility you're paying for with the metahero token is what they call meta scanning technology. Now, what does that mean? We're going to go over this kind of piece by piece, but what does that mean by meta scanning technology? Well, this is the metahero tech.
Imagine that this is you. Imagine that you could scan yourself into any game and be your own hero. Imagine being able to take any real-world object and perfectly copying it into the digital world. We've decided to make this vision a reality. Metahero has partnered with Wolf Studio, the inventors of 16K 3D modeling technology used by the likes of CD Projekt, the makers of Cyberpunk 2077. From 3D NFTs to digital avatars, the possibilities are truly endless with the metahero 3D chambers, which will be placed in locations around the world. The deflationary hero token, coupled with next-generation 3D technology, will set your imagination free. Welcome to the future.
You gotta admit, it looks pretty cool, right? I mean, when you look at 3D scanning technologies, it's pretty exciting. I remember going to the computer graphics industry show, SIGGRAPH, in 2008 and being totally blown away by technologies like this that were first being pioneered, but weren't particularly accessible. And frankly, they're still not accessible to the majority of people. So when the person who contacted me about doing this video contacted me and showed me the video, I was like, that's it, done, I'm in. I'm excited because I've seen this firsthand. I've stepped into a machine like this before, but I know what the price tag of a machine was for something like this back in the day, right? It's been only, gosh, like 13 years or so now. Okay, yeah, it's been a while. But the point is, we still don't have easily accessible machines like this for end users like you and I to go and create digital avatars for our favorite video games. We still use other technologies and like subpar technologies like this 3D photogrammetry, right? Where you take a cell phone, and you walk around an object, or you take multiple selfies of yourself to try to create some kind of pseudo 3D mesh and really, really poor 3D texture that then gets really, really weird blurred edges, and it's just not very good. It's really not very good at all. So using a proper 3D scanning booth that uses proper planoptic technologies, right, or uses a panopticon, right, like many, many cameras in order to capture the subject just makes more sense. And when I saw that happening with metahero, I was pretty excited, not gonna lie, guys. So that's their 3D technology. So being able to create 3D avatars and scan objects into 3D, whether it is like any pair of objects that you want to have inside of a video game. I don't know why you would need to scan your favorite pair of scissors. Seriously, like go get a generic pair of scissors. Like what else do you have to do with your life? You know, I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff you will want to scan in though, but one of the most compelling reasons I think is 3D avatars, custom 3D avatars, making something like Ready Player One a reality for us now in this world. So I'm pretty excited about that. They want people to use the hero token to transact in this economy. It's a utility token for being able to pay for these services and being able to transfer assets or pay for in-game assets from other people who are maybe more prolific creators of 3D assets using the metascanning technology. And I get it. I really get it. A similar, though not the same project would be something along the lines of render token, where there's a utility token for rendering certain kinds of complex 3D meshes with very, very highly detailed textures on top of them. So it goes hand in hand with a project like this, but this is on the acquisition side, being able to create and generate and acquire assets into 3D that can then be animated later on and then be rendered later on. This is a necessary step though, and it's one of the missing links. So that's some of the tech. Here's the metascanner, right? The outer diameter, they've already got a mock-up here. This is exactly what they're using. You notice the little locking edges right there. So it's modular. It's designed to just be popped up and be mobile, apparently. Very different from some of the soundstage style technology for, say, like bullet time cameras that the Wachowskis used way back in the 90s, and then getting into digital photography and digital image acquisition and digital 3D scanning, the systems that were being debuted at say, like SIGGRAPH years ago, or like what I'm showing you here, little cameras like this with just two lenses, so just stereopsis and then a single projector in the middle that are kind of less high tech. You really do want more cameras. The more the better, and the more accurate and high resolution the textures will be when you use a system like this. I love what I'm seeing right here. All of it makes immediate sense to me as a creative and somebody who worked in the animation and film industry for a short time, and then, went to some of these trade shows and such for years, way back, practically another life before going into becoming a tech trainer. This media production sensibility really strikes a chord for me internally. So I love seeing what they're doing here. And apparently they can scan multiple subjects at the same time, up to 4 people with, there you go, 1/120th of a second time of taking the measurement for photograms. There you go. And then quick assembly, disassembly, as you can see, it is modular. 64 cameras, 16 mobile columns with a server unit and 4 cameras each, which is totally enough. Apparently, there you go, 1, 2, 3, 4. Apparently, moving up vertically from there with a little bit of Z depth being generated by having an offset all the way around this column, all the way around this, encircling the subject. So cool, guys. I'm kind of nerding out. Frankly, I'm kind of nerding out over this project right here, this product right here. And I know some of my audience is like, oh my gosh, Seth, how much did they have to pay you to show this thing? Guys, it's not about that. Look at this thing. It's awesome. You can step inside of it and it makes you into a 3D avatar. Rant over. I'm going to stop getting excited about this because I think more people should be excited about stuff like this, and we should build more stuff like this. Reordering the metahero chamber, apparently this is where there's something of a business opportunity. You know that if you ever go to, let's say, like a wedding reception, if you go to like an anniversary or some kind of a baby shower or something, it's very common for people to have little photo kiosks, right? In the same way that we, way back in the day, you'd set in and get a little selfie kiosks where you could take silly photos of your friends, photo booths, and then it would print out the little images. And nowadays, people do that to, like, within a little iPad inside of a kiosk where you can drive the entire experience on the iPad, takes the photos, and then it emails you the photos afterwards, right? This is a new business model. And I think that the metahero 3D chamber, I think it's going to be a very similar business opportunity for people where they can take it to new locations and set it up in the same kind of environment. Imagine, for example, that, say, a bride and groom, or a bride and bride, or a groom and groom, whatever. I'm not trying to like force any worldview on you guys, but the two people whose special day it is, imagine that they stand inside of this to get a full 360-degree 3D scan of their outfits for that day. And they can become playable 3D characters inside of a video game. How cool would that be? How cool of a gift would that be to those people and to their guests for that day? I'm seeing a business opportunity right here in what they're saying. And that's why they're looking for people who may be interested in operating these booths, right? These 3D chambers, not just people who want to go and use them, but people who want to operate them for a side income. And I think they were very smart to do this. I may possibly be hitting up this sign up later on. But the tokenomics are that for the hero token itself. It's deflationary, smart staking, has a burn feature to it, provides auto liquidity with a buyback and burn. And then the utility is that it can be used to transact in the ecosystem for the real world utility of metahero services, such as being able to use the 3D scanning chamber. And going over the deflation, a little bit of the facts and figures there. 5% fee on each transaction helps create a deflationary motion to the available tokens. And then with smart staking, 1% of each transaction is redistributed to active hodlers, right? So there is incentive to hodl. There's a little bit less incentive to transact other than what you really need to inside of the ecosystem, but there's still incentive for other people to come and use this really cool system. And if you can instruct users at the point of purchase, right, on how to get metahero tokens, and that'll be a lot easier. There could be a bit of an uphill battle as far as onboarding new users when they see a cool piece of tech like that 3D chamber and then say, awesome, can I just like give you a $5 bill, right? It'll be a little awkward for the operator, for sure. However, I'm pretty sure those are growing pains that we're going to figure out a way to get past. But in the meantime, if somebody does pay for the usage there at the point of sale, then 1% of that transaction will go to all hodlers of the hero token. And then with the burn, it's 1% of each transaction, which is, again, with deflation, 5% fee plus 1% burned plus 1%, or maybe subtracting 1% from that 5% fee on each transaction. If I'm reading this right, maybe that's where this is all coming from, because it would really suck if there was like a 10% like massive burn. Like, where does it come from? Clearly it needs to be taken away from the person who's on the receiving side of the transaction. So hopefully what I'm reading here is that it's really just 5 in total, in sum total. So 1% staking, 1% burn, and then 3% auto liquidity. Maybe I'm reading that correctly. And so in total, it's 5% that makes it deflationary. Not totally clear as of here. So, but I think that's the case. And then its utilities working with those systems. It's designed for heroes. Metascanning, granular statistics. They're talking about with the metascanning, use it to pay for scans at the 3D chamber locations. And I imagine also use it early on to pay for the 3D chamber locations themselves. Pay for the business opportunity to purchase or lease that equipment from the metahero team. Though it's not perfectly clear exactly how that's going to roll out. Right now, they're just focused on the initial token launch. And again, reminder, you have the same opportunity that I do right now. And I'll talk to you at the end of this video about how you can jump in if you're interested. Again, without telling you what to buy or what to do, right, guys? I'm very loath to do that. This is just a really cool project that's launching publicly in July, but still privately right now. So last day of June, and I'm telling you, you got about a week to act on this quickly, a little less than a week to act on this quickly if you want to, right? If you want to, based on your own research. So dive in. But the granular statistics they talk about, if you love numbers, you'll be able to monitor all hero stats in one place in the app. And then the staking rewards as from before. So you'll get that 1% that's redistributed back to you, depending on the transaction volume. It'll go back to you. So you see the reward of staking and hodling. And that'll be available in the mobile apps once they launch. The roadmap is pretty straightforward, but let's go ahead and read through some of it now. It's just way easier to take a look at it here. Setting up the legal entity, done. 10 million in seed funding from Robert Grin, their CEO, the former CEO of CodeWise. And we'll talk about the team in just a little while. Guys, everything that I can find about Robert, I like. Right? I love the work that he's done so far. Everything I can find about him as an individual and as a leader in the tech startup space, I like. And he gives back to the community where he set up shop in Poland for CodeWise and now with metahero, with team members from CodeWise that he's brought along with him because they've got such a good team working environment where they're able to get things done. That's a sign of a healthy corporate culture when you've got people who willingly move with you from one business to another. You don't get that if you're an a-hole. You don't get that if you're a jerk. You don't get roughly a half dozen people to follow you from one company to another. And I think that speaks volumes about Robert. I digress. I've been impressed with Robert as I've done a little more homework on him. Market research is done. They saw the opportunity here. R&D has been put into place to confirm the feasibility. They validated the business model, they think, tested the 3D scanning technology, which of course has existed for many, many years, but has been very difficult to put into the market opportunity plug in the way that it needs to be right now, a la iPad kiosk, photo booth kiosk business, which is a thriving business in so many markets for small business owners. So they validated that And then securing strategic partners and advisors, creating proprietary smart contract architecture, which they would need in order to have this be a part of their own closed loop commerce ecosystem. They've got their core team, which a number of them went over from code-wise just because of what they saw in terms of the opportunity here and in terms of the good working relationships, creating marketing strategy, establishing a 5-year plan and vision, and then creating a premium brand. No small feat, creating a premium brand, especially in today's world. Currently, Q2 of 2021, they're having their initial talks with high-profile investors, stress testing their smart contracts, expanding their core team, verifying the Metascanner locations because they already have some that they are ensuring, right? They're doing their due diligence to make sure that they don't launch these to zero foot traffic. It's a bit like the Bitcoin ATMs that you see in multiple locations around the world. Not all of them perform well. Or say like a wireless hotspot for networks like Helium, right? You need to know that you've got high traffic areas and that placing a kiosk like this or placing a 3D scanning chamber like this, that it doesn't go unused. People have to be able to discover it and they have to want to pay for it. So that takes a bit of research, and I see what they're getting at there right now. But it does make sense for them to start bootstrapping liquidity or raising funds now while they're in the process of confirming that side exactly where they're going to place the 3D scanning chambers. The Hero app development, they're working on it, of course. Here we are on website version 1. They've got a YouTube channel being rebranded from what was previously a bit of a professional development channel from Robert Grin, their CEO. And then their awareness and marketing PR campaigns. Well, what are we doing here? Yes, that's us. Okay, so we're raising awareness. We've got a private pre-sale that is actually the current active component at this moment is the private pre-sale. And again, we're going to show you how you can get in on that for yourself if you are interested, and only once you do your own research, guys. Again, I cannot stress it enough. Do your own research. I cannot stress it enough because during these kinds of private moving into public listings, there's inevitably a massive spike upon initial listing and then a massive dump, and then it finds support and then they get to work, right? The team gets to work. They don't even pay attention to the price for the first 24 hours to 48 hours, sometimes even week of public listing. Teams like this just have more important things to do than sit around and babysit. They're not day traders. They're not swing traders. They're not out here to dump on you or scalp profits from the private sale. At least the core team, they've got better things to do, such as actually deliver on the roadmap. So private presale is happening right now. Public presale is happening very, very soon. And the AMA with Robert Grin apparently is happening very, very soon. Not familiar with when exactly that's going to happen, but I'll probably issue some kind of an update in the community tab of this YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed, guys, what are you waiting for? It's free. It's free. It costs you nothing to subscribe to this channel. And if you do so, you'll push us over the edge of 10,000 subscribers. So appreciated. You guys are the best. Got some cool giveaways coming up. It'll be in your best interest to be subscribed, guys. But in the meantime, the community tab, I'll let you know when that AMA is coming up in the community tab of this channel. Pre-launch marketing campaigns, opening whitelist, and then CertiK audit. Coming in 2021, they've got the public launch on PancakeSwap V2, and PancakeSwap V2. I don't as far as feature for feature, I don't believe that it's intended to compete directly with, say, Uniswap V3. It's just the second version of PancakeSwap, but this token is living on Binance Smart Chain, so it has to use PancakeSwap. The Hero Android app release is slated for Q3. Always easier to get approved for Android release because if push comes to shove, they could make it an app that you have to download and install directly from their website. So that's happening sooner. They're also looking at doing a post-launch marketing campaign and getting the iOS app released, but clearly as a second priority, not because they are slacking, but because if all things are equal, if both apps are done at the same time, the Android app will get approved before the iOS app is. So it's just a question of those marketplaces accepting the application, all other things being equal. But I love that they're showing that reality right here, letting us know what to expect. Going to be delivering the first metahero 3D chamber. They've already got the proof of concept. As you see the photos up above, those are not CG renderings, not 3D renderings, but they've got a working prototype right now, and they'll be doing their first delivery next quarter. Initiating negotiations with centralized exchanges. And why does that matter? That matters because there are going to be investors and they're going to be traders who require some kind of insurance and require some kind of a centralized exchange to be able to feel confident that they should be involved with a token like this. Just how it is. So that's going to happen afterwards. implementation of community voting, which will be part of your rights, holding this utility token, negotiations with on-ramp partners, MetaHero being added to major rating websites, launching the MetaHero podcast, which that's cool. First I've heard of it, but then announcing artist partnerships and listing on the first centralized exchanges. So very aggressive roadmap there for Q3 of 2021. But based on the history of CodeWise and the team that has gone over to MetaHero, I'm going to say something that I rarely say. I'm actually confident in their ability to deliver this. I really am. I think they've got enough programming talent and they've got enough hardworking talent in terms of building the relationships necessary to do what they have outlined here that I think we might actually see this happen. Okay, guys, that's the Q3 roadmap. Let's finish up the year. They're going to expand the team, get version 2 of the website going, sponsor crypto and gaming events, explore game and studio developer partnerships so they make it easier for various additional games and titles to allow for users to upload their own custom avatars that are using the MetaHero 3D scanning chamber. Joining prestigious global business organizations. Again, it's important, guys. Networking is so important in this game, in this space, right? And the more people who are aware of them, the more they can be involved in, say, like VR and AR initiatives, right? There's so much more than just gaming. There's also various other sides of the industry that would love to see players like these guys fill a need in terms of the consumer wanting to upload their own 3D models. And then onboarding strategic investors, growing internationally, installing public MetaHero 3D chamber, which that'd be awesome. Can you imagine it? Being able to go to, like, say, a local mall somewhere in a more highly trafficked area, somewhere in New York, or say like in Pasadena or in Los Angeles, where if you're in the area, you can just stop by and you know where there's a 3D scanning chamber and you can just go get this done, right? Bring a change of clothing as though you're doing, like, taking professional headshots or something for work, and then get a full 3D scan done. Totally cool vision there. And then more listings, MetaHero 3D NFT marketplace, which is going to be awesome. You know, I mean, coin artist, if you're watching, clearly you got to get involved. Something like this I know is going to pique your interest. So a tremendous creator in the space, tremendous force of good in the space, but also tremendous cosplayer in the space. So this should be pretty cool for cosplayers. MetaHero mobile app version 2, and then implementation of fiat to hero on-ramp solution. That's going to be a big deal for them, I think, especially at the point of sale with people trying to use this product. Whoo! I know I've thrown a lot at you guys. I'm genuinely enthused about this. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the team. Robert Grin is the founder and CEO. You know him, you love him. Let's take a look at him talking about how he loves his job. There he is on the cover of Forbes in Poland, guys. Not a very common thing to see a young tech creative or a young tech startup founder featured in this way. It's extremely uncommon to find somebody so young, and extremely uncommon to have a custom edition like this done for them in Poland. So that's Robert Grin. The core team, you'll notice various people here. Obviously, you've got a lot of Polish names here, but you'll find a lot of these guys, parenthetically, Jeremy Lopez, ex-CodeWise, Alex Grin, of course, ex-CodeWise, but various others, Marcin, ex-CodeWise, Mateusz, ex-CodeWise, Bartholomew, ex-CodeWise, right? A bunch of people, Rafal, ex-CodeWise, Alexander, ex-CodeWise, Camille, ex-CodeWise. You've got plenty of people here with, like, Jan, Prezimiel, Serafin, and Mateusz. Wait, what? How many Mateuszes are there? Okay, I'm less confused now. I apologize. It's like Matthew here, right? I apologize, guys. It's a common name. So, but the strategic partners are Wolf Studio, and Wolf Studio, as I mentioned before, they pioneered the technology that was used, such as this, in order to scan characters for the popular AAA title Cyberpunk 2077. So they're not no names, right? These are people who have actually worked in the space. And then Tencent is functioning as the launch pad. They're based on Ethereum. This token, of course, is based on BSC. We'll see if maybe it ports or it bridges over to another network at some point in the future, possibly like a layer 2 on Ethereum. I don't know. Not listed on the roadmap as of right now. They're focusing on BSC for the moment. So we'll see what happens in the future. Strategic advisors, and they've got strategic advisors, as you can see here, people who are genuinely invested in the success of the project. Taking a look at the white paper just briefly, I'll be linking to this down in the description. Anything that that I've looked at here, you can look at on your own, and I strongly encourage you to do so. The idea is that you basically get to Ready Player One yourself, and the other parameters are basically laid out across multiple pages. Here we talked about the basics of it already, already, but an NFT market, gaming market, VR, AR, metaverse, and then of course metascanning that goes back to just allowing people to upload in-game assets based on real world things and people. So very exciting there. But going back to the top of the list, I mentioned that I'm involved, and I mentioned that you can get involved in the private sale. And here is how. The way you would do so is to join the whitelist. And that's at the very top of the page. And joining the whitelist, part of the prerequisite is that you must have 1,000 10-set tokens in order to qualify for the private sale right now. And then once you are accepted onto the whitelist, you can purchase based on what they allot for you. It's a little bit different from what we're typically used to in terms of public listings, but as a private sale, that means that you get the same price as larger investors or as a lot of the influencers that typically get raked over the coals for covering these kinds of projects in the first place. It helps put my heart at ease to know that I can talk to you about something where I don't have any unique advantage over you. And if you are interested, you know how to join in on the fun now. Guys, let me know down in the comments section, have you looked at metahero yet? Have you ever tried 3D scanning? Have you tried working with your own in-game assets, or have you worked with 3D NFTs? Have you worked with just CG in general? Are you excited about something like this? I know I am, maybe a little bit too much, just in part because I see the need that it fills. And I went to a wedding recently with my wife where we went to one of those little iPad photo booths, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I get it. And I talked to the owner for a while, and he was like, oh yeah, whatever. I set this thing up for special events, and people come and do their thing, and about whatever, a couple hundred people go through, and they pay, they just rent it for a certain rate, and I'm pretty happy with this. Now imagine that person had the opportunity to 3D scan people. It's pretty cool. I've seen this sort of business model in action, and with what they're proposing to do, I just see it being so much more powerful. Anyway, I don't want to go too much longer on a tangent, guys. Let me know down in the comment section what you think after you've taken a look at the metahero project. Do you think that this is something that you're interested in? What do you think of the possibilities with 3D scanning technology like this that's made practical? This is, in my mind, where it makes sense to get VCs involved, or to get an angel investor, like how Robert is leading the charge as an angel investor for this company. Get an angel investor or VCs involved in order to build a proof of concept that will have a real world appliance, right? Actual technology and software, like IT and software together in a stack that does something in the real world, right? Creates a custom camera or a microphone combo, or does something that actually adds value in the real world. I'm pretty excited about that, guys. That's what got me totally agreed to do this and bring this to you guys. Let me know in the comment section. I know I'm rambling a lot. I'm just really, really excited. It's rare you guys get to see me excited like this. So let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. I love your face, guys. Remember to stay private and mind your biz. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you want to be notified of videos like this in the future, first off, click subscribe, press the bell icon. Additionally, you can sign up for the Mind Your Biz email newsletter. That'll give you exclusive access to certain freebies, notifications for deals within the cryptocurrency mining space, as well as some of our flash sales for merchandise, which you can buy with cryptocurrency. That's right. It's the only cryptocurrency merch that you can buy with cryptocurrency. We practice what we preach. As always, thank you so much for watching. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face, and I will see you in the next one.